This week we have Daniel's pick, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, directed by Edgar Wright, starring Michael Cera and a huge all-star cast that I'm not even gonna get into because there's like a million people he could name on here. And I guess Elizabeth, what's her name, Winstead.
Yeah,
I can't. Does she have a middle name?
I think so, but I don't remember it.
Mary Elizabeth Winstead. That's it.
There you go.
Death Proof alumni. Great movie. So I'm kidding. So Scott Pilgrim is basically trying to date this girl named Ramona. He has to defeat her 7 evil exes. It is a action comedy, and it is a video game slash comic book movie.
Mm-hmm.
So Alexander, what did you think of the movie?
I forgot to ask last week, or if I asked, I forgot your answer. Have you seen this before?
No.
Okay. I had never seen this before. I knew that there was a video game out on the Xbox that was based on the movie that tied into it.
Well,
like
technically, I lied. It's based off a manga, not a comic book. I know. Don't roast me in chat. Everyone cares.
Oh, I thought it was a graphic novel. So I guess I had it wrong too. So I haven't seen this one before. I was aware of it. I didn't see it in theaters, obviously, and had multiple opportunities to purchase this at discounted rates when it hit home release. But I don't know. I never showed up on my radar. And I'm kind of surprised it didn't, because I really like this one. The first 10 minutes, I was trying to figure out what I was watching, if that makes sense. Like, it kind of smacks you in the face with some very unrealistic stuff right away, and you're like, wait, hold on. Like, is this a fantasy movie? And then I would say about 20 minutes in, you quickly realize this is a fantasy movie. It's like fantasy action, over the top, special effects, you know.
It's like a manga. It's over the top.
Yeah. So, and then at that point, I reminded myself, because like I was aware of this movie. About 20 minutes in, I go, oh yeah, this is that movie that was based off of a graphic novel that had like some supernatural type mystical power stuff going on, like most comic books. So, but overall, it's a really cool story. I don't know that there's a lot of depth to the story. I guess thematically, you could say like it's about fighting for yourself and going for what you really want in life and not settling for something. Specifically, like in regards to his girlfriend at the beginning of the movie, Knives, she would be a good girlfriend. She adored him. It would be settling, though, even though it would have probably been a good relationship, it would have been settling. Whereas what he really wanted was something that felt a little bit out of reach. He would have to really try hard, do something that was outside of his comfort zone. So I guess thematically it was a little bit strong, because like at the beginning of the movie, they use the word enfeebled to describe Michael Cera's character, Scott Pilgrim. And then at the end of the movie, he's got confidence. He believes in himself. He fights for what he wants. There's character growth there. I like that. Music was great. Sound effects were great. A lot of the musical bits I didn't mind. Usually I hate musical stuff in movies, but I thought they were all really well done and entertaining. I like the video game tie-in. There's a lot of video game sound effects, video game soundtracks from like the NES era going on in the background. That was really cool. Really spoke to me. I'm an 80s kid, was an NES kid, so I really liked it. And it just, like, when I heard the Metroid soundtrack in the background, I was like, oh, that's so good. I even liked that the band that they were in was video game themed. That was pretty cool too. The Bob-ombs. So
yeah,
sound was great. It's filmed exceptionally well. I love the cinematography. I know they had a dedicated person who worked on all the visual effects that they layered on top. Those were all really cool. So overall, I thought it was a really different take on an action movie. I can't think of a single movie out there that's similar to it. And it's kind of something that a pasty, white, pale nerd in their mom's basement in high school would enjoy. I think it really speaks to that kind of audience. Like the
roasted Daniel.
Well, Daniel's not that, but like, you know, Daniel's into nerd culture. I'm into nerd culture. You are to an extent.
Not.
Probably
not.
I fully admit, in high school I was a dork. I would have loved this in high school. I think it's perfect for that audience. I also think it's perfect for the audience like me, someone who's 34 years old, loves the 80s, loves video games from that era, and this had that tie-in. I think it's great, man. It's really fun. I'm sad I didn't watch this sooner, honestly.
It had the best transitions anything we've ever watched.
Oh yeah, that's true.
It in the beginning when he's hanging out with Knives on her dates, I've gone through this where like every day just like happens and then you're like, where am I? What am I doing? And it expertly does that by like the scene transitions where like the conversation keeps on flowing, but it takes you to a different place before you realize you're in a different place, and it breaks the rules. Like it breaks cinema rules. Like you're in the middle of a conversation, it puts it like Knives. They're in like a store. He's talking Knives. Goes back, talks to Michael, Sarah, or Scott. Goes back to talk to Scott. Then he goes back to talk to her, but the background's completely different.
Yeah.
And then there's like the bathroom where he goes in the bathroom. He leaves in the middle of the hallway in a school. The transitions did get kind of annoying though near the end. Which does,
I don't know.
I don't know. It was all right.
It's all right.
I didn't love it. I didn't hate it.
Oh, I loved it. I mean, it's never gonna. It was a huge financial flop. Critics were mostly positive on it. It's got a huge cult following. You know.
Yeah.
But you know, a lot of movies don't do so well in the theaters and have a cult following. Like we talked about Shaun of the Dead earlier. I mean, that's a really good example. I want to say that one didn't do well in theaters, but it did good on home release. So overall, I really enjoyed this one. So might be the best Patreon pick we've had. I'm not trying to make anybody feel bad, but like I really like this one. I guess I'm the perfect audience for this movie. So Andy,
I don't know. I've seen all of Edgar Wright's stuff.
Yeah.
It's not his best. He doesn't make bad movies. He doesn't make great movies. That's my synopsis, I guess.
I know I shouldn't care, because I always say this all the time, like, especially when
the best fan club pick, though.
Yeah.
Fan pick was the first one.
Which was Absence of Malice?
Was Moneyball.
Moneyball. That was another Daniel pick. Listen, man. Daniel knows. Yeah, listen, sweetie. Daniel
all the
knows.
Fan picks were Moneyball, Absence of Malice, The Fountain, The Lobster, Something About Mary, Gran Torino, Days of Confused, City Lights, Top Gun, In Bruges, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. Daniel knows.
That's a very Daniel heavy list, by the way. But Daniel knows movies. Daniel knows film. He's got a trained eye when it comes to that stuff. And like even the stuff that he recommends that I think is a little fringy, right? Where like it didn't even have mainstream critical success. I think they're generally successful movies. Like for example, The Fountain. Like The Fountain wasn't exceptionally received by critics, if I remember correctly. It was not financially successful in the least, but I think it's a successful movie. Tells a good story, explores some really cool themes. This is another one of those. But everybody else, like, we gotta get some variety in the fan picks, man. Just no more Absence of Malice or The Lobster, please. So,
more The Lobster.
I say fans like we actually have listeners.
Yorgos Lanthimos.
Wait, what?
Nothing.
Oh, okay. I don't know what I missed that. My bad. So overall, Scott Pilgrim vs. World, I give it a 7 out of 10. I'd recommend it to anybody. Andy?
I think the first time ever,
we
gave it something the same exact rating.
Oh wow!
I also gave it a 7 out of 10.
Look at that! It makes me feel good. I know I shouldn't like put so much emphasis on it, but I do like it when we both like a movie. I also like it when we both don't like a movie.
It's all right.
It shouldn't.
Like I said before.
Well,
not
7 out of 10 is good.
It's okay.
Well, I don't know. We'll have to see.
His second best movie. in my opinion. I really liked Baby Driver. Also 7 out of 10, by the way. If you want to see that, letterboxd.com.
If Dumbest Sphinx gives us a 7 out of 10, I'm going to lose it.
No, this isn't the first time. We gave Tower the same rating.
Oh, Tower was so good, though.
We all gave it 8s. Literally everyone. Everyone gave it 8.
Speaking of Andy's picks, what's your pick for next week, Andy?
Well, did you guess it? Could you guess it?
Well, in the show notes, you have Happy Feet from 2006.
I gave you a hint, though. I said 2 of the main actors in your movie are 2 of the main actors.
Oh, I couldn't
movie.
figure that out. I tried.
My pick is Charlie Kaufman's Synecdoche, New York.
Oh, I never would have guessed that. I don't even know what that is.
Stars Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Oh. Well, I like that. I like anything he's in.
Yeah.
God, he was so good.
Check it out. Synecdoche, New York. It kind of, without spoiling it, is nothing like the last 2 picks.
That's a shame, dude. Like,
I mean, you'll get what I mean after you watch it. It's on Amazon Prime Vudu for $2.99, YouTube, iTunes, Google Play $3.99, or if you want to watch it with free with ads, it's on Crackle.
Ooh, Crackle makes a return. I forget. Every once in a while,
you have to watch it with ads though, which is hella annoying.
Well, it's incredibly annoying. I couldn't watch a movie.
That's how I watch
with ads.
Aliens, and that may be the reason I hate the movie.
Oh, that's sad.
But then again, I turned it off. Like I watched it for like 2 ads in. I was like, this is awful. I turned it off, and and I watched the rest of the movie.
Yarr.
Hey, thank you for watching the clip. If you want to check out the full version of the podcast, there should be an in-card thing around me, or a link in the description. Whichever one. There should be both. Have fun. Figure it out.